Hello everyone, I am Berfu from Business Support Team, and this is going to be our third recording for this amendment period, where we would like to show you how the things are done in the tool and what are the tips that can ease your life while we are working on your amendments. Just few reminders. As you know, the amendment continues throughout the year, so you can always work on your amendments. You can always submit them. However, there are certain periods of time where that will be the moment that the grants team will make the checks and controls and approve the changes if they are all okay and aligned. So this is going to be the last one for this year as we are closing the business plan 23-25. And the only two change type that are allowed um, are already recorded and shared with you. And this is the second one where we will be able to show you a change request from one participant to another. So a budget of one participant will be decreased while the other will be increased. So as you already know, the approval flow includes activity leaders, project monitors, finance contacts, and grants team. Therefore, we really recommend master contacts to check and make sure that the finance contacts especially are active users and they are the correct people who will be working on the budgets after activity leaders approve submits the changes. Therefore, please, if you recognize that a change is needed regarding a contact point, especially finance contacts, reach us via participants' mailbox so we will be able to help with the change before activity leader starts or submits a change request. Now, I will show my screen and then we will see together how the tool looks for activity leader and what are the steps that will be followed by them. And in the meantime, I will turn off my camera and I will start sharing my screen. Great. So as you see, this is the screen for Activity Leader. And as always, to check the projects, activity leaders need to go My Application Projects tab and you click on it. Here you will find your Kava. For your case, it might be more than one. For our case, we only created one training Kava, and you will be able to click on your project to see the details regarding the project itself. Before you start your change, we recommend you to check the consortium and the budget. So how to check? You click on consortium. You will see the list. For our case, which is a training Kava, we have two entities. One is called Ana Pizza. Second one is Test Company. And the roles assigned to these companies can be seen below. So each project has an activity leader, and this is the activity leader's screen. Each entity must have a finance contact who is active and registered on the system because they will be working actively to approve or reject any change request that is submitted by activity leader. So as you see, we have finance contact for Ana Pizza, and we have finance contact for Test Company. And finally, which is another must in the process, is to have a project monitor in the project itself. So after you check the consortium, you need to check the budgets. You need to go to More, and you click on Budgets. Here you will see the budgets, the years that are assigned to each entity. For our case, we have budgets for 25 for the entity called Ana Pizza and budget for 25 for the entity called Test Company. This is a great example. Why? Because there will be no change in other years, so nothing will be allowed for a change request regarding 26. Therefore, we only expect you to work on your budgets for 25. And here in our example, we will do the same. We will work on the budgets of 25 of these two entities. And finally, we would recommend activity leaders to check the details just to make sure that everything is correctly embedded in the system. As you see, this example case has a funding rate of 80%. So throughout the process, as an activity leader, you need to make sure you keep the reimbursement rate same after the changes you introduced in the system. So to start, the case that we created for you for this recording is the one that the test company will decrease its personnel costs by 6,000, and this 6,000 will be distributed to Anne Pizza under two cost categories. One, personal, two, travel. So let's start with the test company, and let's start with the degrees of 6,000 from the personal cost of test company. To start, as an activity leader, you select project change requests. And here you can see all the changes that have been worked before, and they were all approved. For your case, there might be some under status draft, might be some under status rejected, and then you may see the approved ones. To have a new one, you select on new, and you select budget change, as only budget changes will be allowed in this period, and no change about KPIs, deliverables, or any descriptions are allowed. So you click on next. Here you need to write project change request, but it has to be clear for everyone involved in the process. So we really want you to add the budget year. So your request name can be budget 2025. Then you need to write the entity name, which is going to be the one that will be affected by the change. So that's test company. And you write the request here, degrees, personnel by 6K. It doesn't need to be a long one, but it has to be a clear one for everyone, including yourself, to remember what was that change request about. Once you had the name, you add the type, and that is reallocation of funds. Then you come to narrative parts, as you need to write the description and the reason of the change. Description of the change is personnel costs have to be decreased by 6 to be added to Anna Pizza. And now you can give more information about the reason. The team will get smaller. The team will get smaller in size. Therefore, the personnel costs of this company will decrease. The amount will be transferred to Anna Pizza for travel and personnel costs. And you proceed to budget change details. Here, you need to select the company you are working on, which is a test company whose budget will be changing, and its relevant budget. If there were more years described under test company, that would have been shown here. But as we only have year 25, we will just have this one to be selected from the list. And here we go, we select the year and we save. So by this, what happened? We managed to create the request itself. So now we'll need to go to budget itself and make the change. So we click on budget, we go to test company Kosti, and we quickly check the details to see the figures, the reimbursement rate, the amounts. And to make the change itself, we go to budget line items. For this, as we mentioned before, the personnel cost will be decreased by 6K. So we click on personnel, and we scroll down to the only part that is allowed to be changed, which is change requests. So propose new amount has to be 2,000 because it was 8 and we need a decrease by 6,000. And we end up with 2,000 and we save. After this change, we need to make sure the budget itself looks okay. Therefore, we go to budget, we click on it, we scroll down, and we check the reimbursement rate. As you see, after the requests, the reimbursement rate is no longer 80. So we need to make a little calculation to make sure we keep it as 50. So we multiply propose new costs by the reimbursement rates. And we need to write 15,000 for proposed funding amount. And as you see, we keep the reimbursement rate at 80. So we managed to keep the budget aligned. So now we completed the second step where we make the change and we move to third step, which is submitting the change. So we again need to go to project change requests, and our project, which is at this draft status. So we click on it, and then we can see the approval history once we submit the change. We have a quick look. If anything has to be amended, this is the moment that we can correct or clarify the reason or description. And if everything looks fine, we submit change request. Here we will see a disclaimer. We read, if we agree, we proceed, and we submit. Now, as you know from the workflow, myself as activity leader managed to submit the request, and now it's a project monitor who needs to approve the projects. So now we will continue with the approval process of project monitor, and we will see how our screens look after Arzu, who is the project monitor, approves the projects. And show you how the things are seen. So you can see the request either from the bell here. Now you won't see it as I already clicked on it while getting prepared for the recording. But normally you will see a red point there that will be the alert to let you know that there is a notification, or you can check the things under project change requests via the projects tab, my applications projects tab. So we click on the bell and we see the project monitor, who is Arzu, is requesting approval for project change requests. We click on it as the finance contact. In our second recording, we also showed the details about how to check the things as the finance contact. And you know the change, the description, the reasons. If you would like to see more details, you can go into the requests or the budget itself to understand the details. And if everything is fine, you, as the finance contact of this company, approve the change. And you will say, thanks, all good as we are aligned previously. Sorry. So now you approve. So as you see, we can see the red button there. Let's click on it and see what it says. Approval request for the project change request is approved. So you also get this notification as finance contact. And now I'll just stop sharing for a second to log in as the activity leader to see how the Kawa looks now. As now I would expect the final approver, who is the grants team, is the one that is pending to approve the change. So we see in a second that I'm logging in as the activity leader. And here I share my screen. And let's see. So we go to project change requests to see the history of our request. So as you see, it is still with a status of requested because it's not approved by the grants yet, but let's see how it looks in its story. So you see, activity leader has submitted, the PM had approved, the finance contact of the company approved, so now it's head of grants who needs to check and approve. So for the moment, I will leave this part and move to the second leg of this budget change request, which is to increase the budget of Anna Pizza. So to do that, we go back to project change requests. We go to new. We select budget change and we write budget 2025 Anna Pizza. So all the things that we tried before or entered are appearing here in case we would like to change something, but no. So on a pizza, the change will be increase personnel by 4K. And so we can do per participant, we can do more than one change in the cost within one change request. And travel by 2K. So we will see how it is done. Type reallocation of funds, and we explain there will be a budget shift from test company, total amount 6K for Anna Pizza. Will be for personnel and 2,000 will be for travel costs. And then for reason, Anna Pizza will hire a new team member, and this person will have conference trips. So travel costs will be increased as well. And then we select the project organization role, which is Anna Pizza. And here, let's see. For a reason, the project was not selected, but I selected here about training Kawa, and now we can select Anna Pizza. And the budget, we have only one budget assigned to each entity, which is 25. So we select 25. And we save. So now the first step is completed, which is creating the request. And we will proceed to the next one, which is actually working in the project, in the budget itself. So we go to project, we go to more, we go to budgets, and we select Anna Pizza. As this is one participant and few costs items are needed to be amended, we can do in one request. So we go to budget line items. So we increase personnel by 4,000. So we click on personnel. It was 40 and we change it to 44. It will be increased by 4,000 and we save. And again, we go to same budget line. We go to costs and we select travel and increase by 2, which ends up in 5,000 and we save. So we made the changes in the budget lines. Now it's time to check the budget itself to make sure the reimbursement rate is still correct. And as we see, due to changes we introduce, it's not 80 anymore. So we have the calculator to make sure we calculate. So we multiply proposed new costs with the reimbursement rate, and we say 60,000. And we will see the proposed reimbursement rate is again 80. So now all shall be fine, but we will have one more time to check. But now this is the second step. We finalize the budget. So let's move back to the request, to project first, project change request, Anna Pizza, increase personnel 4K, and travel 2K. So we click on it. We check the budget change details. Everything seems fine. The description and reason, they are both okay. So it's good to go. So we submit change requests. We are fine with the disclaimer and we submit. So to see the approval history, it's me who submitted it as activity leader, and now it's pending for the PM to approve. And let me stop sharing my screen for a second. And I will log in again as my colleague and try to approve the request. So we go to project change requests. Just view all. And as you can see, this is the request we were working on. It is still with the status of requests because it's not approved yet by the grants head. Let's see the story. Activity leader submitted, PM has approved, now waiting for the finance contact of Anna Pizza to approve it. I logged in as the finance contact of Anna Pizza. So now you will see how the finance contact of Anna Pizza sees the things. As I mentioned earlier, here we have a red button, and we will see what is pending for the finance contacts approval. You can see the details, you can read, you can go into project and check the details, and if everything is fine, you can approve it. And thanks, I am fine with the request. And approve. So now this is again on pending status, because I will show you again how the activity leader of the Kawa sees the changes. In a second. Now we will go to the project change requests. It will still be on requested status because head of grants has not approved it yet. So please, as you may see, the budget here, which is increasing on a pizza, two cost categories, personnel and travel, requested. And you can see the request to decrease 6K from test company is still as in its requested status. So give me one more minute, so I will show you how it looks once head of grants checks and confirms that everything is fine and then approves the changes. And now, this is the final step, because now I would expect the request to be seen as approved. So we go to project change requests. Let's see all. And as you see, all of them are approved. And if you would like to remember which ones were the ones we did in this session, was this one, the 5th, and the 7th. So a decrease of personnel cost by 6K from test company, an increase on a pizza's budget by 6K, which is divided among personnel cost and travel cost. And if you would like to see some details, let's see. As activity leader, you can see this history of the approval. And if you want to check one by one how it looks, you can see the budget. You can see the details on the main screen. You can see the new figures. And if you would like to see budget line items, budget per budget, as you will remember, the personal cost was 40 and it was increased by 4,000. So we ended up with 44 and we can see the number here. And 2,000 was included to travel costs and it used to be 3,000 and now we see travel cost as 5,000. So the things that we wanted to change are approved and they are already reflected in the correct lines. So this is the end of this recording where I hope we help you to see how the things will go when you try to change costs, try to change budget lines between participants. However, if you have any further questions, we will be hosting a session where we will try to explain more details in case some things are not clear. So we wish you a good day and thanks for watching our recording. Thank you very much.